by BBC News staff. Image caption: rescued is the headline on the front of the Daily Mail, which claims it helped find trapped explorer Benedict Allen from Papua New Guinea. It says it hired a helicopter and found him deep in the jungle amid towering volcanic peaks. Image caption: a tax will be levied on plastic containers from takeaways in this week's budget, says the newspaper. It says food boxes, single-use coffee cups, cutlery and straws will all be taxed in a bid to cut the amount of waste that ends up in landfill. Image caption: there is a Saturday night pitch battle brewing, according to the Daily Star. It says Premier League football is to be broadcast live on a Saturday night for the first time, making it a rival to weekend favorites The X Factor and Strictly Come Dancing. Image caption: child abuse on YouTube is the main headline on The Times. It says internet giant Google, the parent organization of the video-sharing website, is making millions of pounds in advertising revenues from videos that allegedly exploit children and appeal to pedophiles. Image caption: punch and jury is the front-page headline of the Daily Mirror. It tells the story of the 11-month ordeal of a dad who was charged with wounding an attempted burglar who tried to break into his home. Jurors took 30 minutes to clear him of the charges, the paper says. Image caption: the EU is threatening to keep Britain's final rebate of £5 billion, first negotiated by Margaret Thatcher as part of Brexit talks, says the Daily Telegraph. It says Brexit negotiations have still not settled whether the final payment will be delivered in March 2019. Image caption: The Sun focuses on allegations that pornography was found on a computer in the office of Tory MP and First Secretary of State Damien Green. Mr. Green denies the claims. The Sun says nature of the alleged finding would have been illegal had it been discovered 8 weeks later, once the law had changed. Image caption: divorcing parents could be denied contact with their children if they turn against their former partners, says The Guardian. It says the new approach could be trialed in family courts to try to stop children being alienated from one parent. Image caption: the Financial Times says directors at the London Stock Exchange could release a detailed dossier on the behavior of its former chief executive to defend themselves against claims they forced him to resign. Image caption: there is a new health alert over statins, says the Daily Express. The paper says taking the drugs can increase the risk of diabetes by almost a third. The Daily Telegraph claims Europe is threatening to keep back Britain's final rebate payment won by Margaret Thatcher as horse trading continues over the Brexit divorce bill. British sources have told the paper that negotiators have still not agreed whether the UK will receive the €5 billion payment as part of the final settlement. The paper describes the rebate as a key irritant between the two sides. It says the EU has still not provided clarity on the issue, even though it was raised in the opening round of Brexit negotiations last summer. YouTube videos: The Times says companies including Iceland, O2 and Which have suspended advertising on YouTube, after an investigation by the paper showed their brands were appearing before video clips that exploited young children and appealed to pedophiles. According to the paper, YouTube's owner, Google, has made millions of pounds in advertising revenue from the videos. The paper's editorial says YouTube must be far tougher on exploitative content. Writing on the Conservative Home website, the Tory MP for Cheltenham, Alex Chalk, agrees, arguing it is baloney for social media companies to claim they should not be held accountable for what appears on their platforms. He says his cross-party inquiry into cyberbullying has revealed tortuous progress in trying to tackle the issue. He says firms must be far more robust in enforcing community guidelines and calls for greater sanctions against offenders. Parents, he writes, should demand more. The Guardian highlights what it describes as a groundbreaking process to deal with cases in which one divorcing parent tries to turn their children against the other. It reports that the Children and Family Court Advisory and Support Service CAFCAS is carrying out a trial which could see divorcing parents being denied contact with their children if they encourage parental alienation. The paper says UK judges believe the phenomenon is present in up to 15% of divorces involving children. A budget miracle. With just days to go, the political editor of The Spectator, James Forsyth, thinks it will be almost miraculous if the budget does not go wrong. He cites a lack of money, a lack of trust between the Prime Minister and the Chancellor Philip Hammond's troubled relationship with Conservative backbenchers and the Tories' great strategic confusion over the deficit as reasons for his pessimism. But what will really be missing, he argues, is a vision for the economy after Brexit. Until the government has this, every drama will turn into a crisis, he adds. With the headline rescued, the Daily Mail claims it was responsible for saving the British explorer who was missing in a remote area of Papua New Guinea. The paper says it hired a helicopter following tip-offs from tribal chiefs and found Benedict Allen weak from malaria and caught between warring tribes deep in the jungle. According to The Guardian, friends of Mr. Allen have rejected claims that he was self-indulgent to take a solo trip without tracking devices. The paper says he is annoyed by the worldwide publicity.